Hi guys, day 26 of a vlog every day in April. Now I couldn't really think of an idea for this, so this was the first thing that came into my head. A little bit of backstory. My surname is actually, well, it's my dad's surname of course, but that name is actually French and it means one who works the sleigh, which is kind of obvious. My mum's surname, I can't remember what it means, but it's actually Nordic in origin. And I like Nordic stuff. So I like myths and legends and stuff like that. So I thought today I would tell you some facts you may or may not know about Thor, Loki and Odin. Once again, it's time for me to have eye difficulties and get smart. I didn't clean these from the last time we did and you think I'd have learned, but hell. Now I imagine some of you have seen Thor the film, i.e. the new one that got made not long ago. And in that film he's blonde. According to this being Wikipedia, he was red. Thor was a ginge. That's a bombshell. And I suppose one of the most famous things about Thor is his hammer. And if you didn't know, his hammer is actually called Mjolnir. Also, as well as his hammer, Mjolnir, I love the language by the way, he has the belt Megingjoro and the iron gloves called Jerngripper. The language is just amazing. But with these, the hammer is, well, the hammer. With it he can maybe fly, lightning, but Mjolnir actually just means crusher. And it was supposedly the idea that he can crush a mountain, but the belt he wears, it doubles his strength, apparently. And his gloves, Jerngripper, they are for holding Mjolnir. Because one of the myths is the smith who was making the hammer, can't remember his name, was bitten in the eye by a fly, and people think that fly was Loki. So the hammer, its shaft was actually made too short to be held by a normal hand. The second one we're going to look at is Loki. Now, for some of you who may know, Loki isn't actually Thor's brother. Loki is an ice giant from Jotunheim, and he is adopted by Odin during the war between the Aesir and the Jotun. If you're wondering why I'm saying it weird, for some reason Norse pronounce their J's as H's. But Loki is known as the trickster god, for he has the power to change his form and create illusionary copies of himself. But in the mythology he is mostly known as someone who is able to change his shape. Now Loki's a bit of a weird one because if I'm honest there isn't a lot of information on him, but it does make reference to his weapon, which was either a staff or a twig called irritating. Now I say one of the best things here is irritating is an idea of a kenning, which is a kind of sword, but the Norse translation is damage twig, which is just a great name for anything. I have a damage twig. One of the main fonts of all the Norse knowledge is something called the VEDA, which is a collection of manuscripts written by Old Norse poets about their gods and all the myths around it. If you can find a copy, I suggest you get it. I imagine they will be in stuff like Waterstones or WH Smith or on Amazon maybe. So go find one, because I imagine it's well worth a read. I want to find a copy myself. And finally, we come to the father of the Aesir, Odin. Now, Odin is Thor's biological father, but he's the adopted father of Loki. But not only that, Odin has a lot of sons. I don't know how many, but according to here, Thor and Loki are the most famous ones. Now, Odin is thought to be worshipped around Roman times, where he is seen as synonymous with the god Mercury, but Odin is definitely seen as a more warlike character. People see him as war and blood and death, when actually he was also a symbolic god for wisdom and healing and druidism. Not only that, Odin had a badass spear called Gungnir. If you've seen the film, you know how badass it is. Now, if you Google Odin and Sleipnir, there is thought that Odin's spear Gungnir had shape-shifting abilities to turn into different animals, and people think that Sleipnir is Gungnir's animal form. But apparently at this point Odin is thought of more as a nightmare horse god rather than the father of all gods. But there is still some controversy over the all-father kind of thing, because there is another part of Norse mythology that says Odin was actually thrown out of Asgard for inciting. They don't say inciting what, it just says inciting. Get off my face. Ow. But yes, I now encourage you to go do your own research. What I'm doing here is just something I find interesting and I hope you found it interesting too. This is on Wikipedia. People give it a bad name, but seeing as it's quite a specialist subject, I'm going to say it's not bad. but I leave it up to you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Don't ask me what I'm doing because I don't know. But yeah. And quickly before I go, I noticed that my last video so far has been really quite well received. So thank you. I will continue to try making good videos. But for May, I'm probably just going to sleep. Sorry. But I am at the Lincoln Gathering on May the 4th, so you can come see me there if you want. But I will be making a video for that as well. I don't know when it'll be out. Maybe this Sunday. I'm not promising anything. Bye guys.